Hello once again, and welcome back to Headaches and Hot Takes. I'm your host, Chaperian, alongside my co-host, Hearn, a.k.a. Pete from Texas, a.k.a. the Brick Oven OG, a.k.a. the man once held hostage in a Chinese cookie factory, the Herniator. Hearn, what is going on, buddy?
Dude, the nicknames never disappoint. I was sad last week when I was nicknameless. You know,
Really?
I went to bed that night and I had an existential crisis, just like, man,
You're like, who am I if not Pete from Texas?
I'm dying of emphysema with these cataracts. I can barely see you. I'm moaning
I don't
at
think I
night
know
because
what
I
the heck
can't
you're
remember
doing.
my
What are you
name.
singing?
Who am I?
What's that from?
Practical Jokers.
I don't think I know this.
You know, like they did the bits where they make like the inventions for each other and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it is at this point, but Grandpa Whoopsie is the thing. It's like a little
Okay,
dog.
I know Grandpa Whoopsie.
It's the commercial for Grandpa Whoopsie. That's the commercial.
I thought you were doing the bit where, Casey, that's on the show all the time, and does the inside jokes. He recorded demos that they had to play for students and then get the students to agree to come back. Very early in the show.
Okay.
Like Sal's is like, I'm a sensitive guy.
Yeah.
Tears in his eyes, but that doesn't mean I don't love a good cry. I'm a sensitive guy who loves to cry. And
Perfect
then real
for Sal.
quick, I won't do all of them, but Joe's is death, destruction, diarrhea, North and South Korea, poo-poo. I have IBS. And if you don't know the show, it's a bit they're forced to play this for a student that they're giving a music lesson to, and then they fail the challenge if they don't get the student to agree to come back for another lesson. And it was a hilarious bit. So
It is fantastic. Great show all around. Sincerely, probably my favorite show. If you haven't watched Practical Jokers, check it out.
Well, I got a couple things for you, Hearn. First is a little mini curveball. Second is a little bigger curveball. One's 65 miles an hour, one's 80. It's going to be a little harder to hit.
We'll change it.
One is related to my hot take of the week this week, and I would love to get your opinion on it. It's sort of related to it anyways. It's not closely related, but sort of related.
Okay.
As you heard us say last week, we've been playing a lot of the OG Fortnite. And again, just thinking nostalgia, even though it's kind of recent, past 5 years. I would love to know, Hearn, what is a limited time offering of like a brand or a food or something like that? I'm thinking like what prompted this is that Mountain Dew Game Fuel is back for the first time like 5 or 6 years. They used to always come out with it when Call of Duty or the new Halo or something came out every year and collabed with it, and it was its exclusive flavor, whatever. They brought it back this time for the first time in a few years. Do you have anything like that was a limited time offering that just like haunts your dreams because you'll never have it again? It could even be something that comes back. You could say the McRib, and I'd be like, yeah, that's fine.
No, not really, honestly. I like the McRib. There's nothing that I'm pretty basic.
Wow. Have you never been burned by really falling in love with a limited time offering? Because that feeling sucks. It's a terrible feeling.
The only thing recently, literally this year, I found out that you could get Baja Blast like at Walmart. But apparently it's only like a summer thing.
Only a summer thing until January 2024, when it is for the first time ever becoming year-round.
It absolutely should be.
It's great.
I'm assuming the other like Mountain Dew flavors, like I've got like Shark Bite in there. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that
like,
one's not.
I haven't tried this. What's this Gamer one you just said?
Not
Game
to be
Fuel?
confused with G Fuel at all. But Mountain Dew Game Fuel,
slide it in.
The main flavor, the way they used to do it was when it first came out, it's citrus cherry. In my honest opinion, having had it again for the first time as an adult, I've not had it as an adult at all. I don't think it's been out since I've been an adult. I think it's just regular and Code Red Mountain Dew mixed together, in my complete and honest opinion. It's really good, though. It's really good, and I do remember playing whatever game was coming out that year. It was typically like Call of Duty was what I would have been playing when it would come out. And so it just kind of made me think of it and stuff. And what they do now, and they did this for the last few years of it as well, they bring back the main citrus cherry flavor and then a that year only flavor. So and fun fact, part of the reason that I think of this is that my literal favorite soda of all time was a one season only Mountain Dew Game Fuel flavor. It was lemonade flavored. And I've had lemonade flavored sodas. I've had sparkling lemonades. It just doesn't compare. It's the best I've ever had. So
Okay. Yeah,
Nothing,
never had that, but that sounds good. Not that I can think of. Not really.
You're a lucky guy.
Is that what you would say for you? Was that so? That was
probably I didn't really have one in mind. I was just asking you, honestly. But I do find myself falling in love with limited time offerings all the time. I do just you go to Taco Bell a lot. They've always got something limited that won't be on the menu next month, right? You never fall for any of those things?
I randomly like literally 2 days ago we went to Dairy Queen and I got the blizzard of the month.
They
which
discontinued
is
my favorite
fantastic.
Blizzard at Dairy Queen from when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure mine was Georgia Mud Fudge. I don't think they have it anymore, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
I don't. Yeah.
See, I mean, I get screwed by this stuff all the time. My favorite vitamin water that I drank my entire freshman and early sophomore year of college got discontinued. And vitamin water on Twitter told me, no, it's not discontinued, whatever. And someone replied to me 6 months later and was like, they're full of crap. They told me the same thing, and I can't find it anywhere. And I replied back, I was like, I can't find it anywhere. And then finally, a year and a half later, they were like, yeah, it's been discontinued. I'm like, then why'd you lie in the first place? Or you just didn't know?
That's so stupid.
I always
there have been
happens to me
times
all the time.
There have been things like, was it Sprite or something came out with that lemon Sprite?
Oh yeah,
thing?
it's. I just saw it when I was looking for the Mountain Dew Game Fuel, actually. So it's still around, even if it was limited. It is definitely limited.
Right. Whenever it first came out, I actively searched for the nearest gas station with that because I wanted to try it. I like Sprite, like lemonade.
I always which that's kind of interesting because Sprite is lemon lime soda. So the fact that they were like lemon Sprite, I'm like, that's kind of weird. I will try any limited soda that I can find. So if I hear about it, I will say it. It's radical. And then it's going, radical.
Drink it.
Well, okay. I would say it's, good for you. Did you ever do the tropical mix Sprite? Did you ever try that?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
And they just brought back Tropical 7-Up this year, which I don't think they've had since I was a little kid, elementary school.
Okay. Hit me with your second curve.
Hit me, baby. One more time. So yeah, I got something else to throw at you. I mean, sometimes we'll have nothing really that we throw out in the beginning before we get into the hot take of the week, which is me this week. So I do feel bad for all the talking I'm doing in the beginning here. But this is a game that I've prepared to play with you. It's called Where Was That Thing Invented?
Oh my god.
And it's just because there were two things in the last week, one of which I knew about and one of which I didn't know about, or maybe I did but didn't really think about consciously, that occurred to me I don't think people realize where that was invented. It's very misleading. So,
okay.
I've got 6 things here. Some of them are tricky. Some of them aren't tricky. It's just a game to be played. Some things I just put up here, and it's that's where you'd think, right?
You say that, but we'll see.
And you just have to tell me where the thing was invented.
Okay.
So, are you ready to play, sir?
Let's do it.
I'm putting you on the spot big time, too. People might think, he's just telling him this. No, I promise you, he has absolutely no idea that I was going to play this game with him. So, just when he played that game with me, I had no idea.
True.
So, alrighty. We're going to start you with one here. I had Panda Express for dinner. And they gave me a couple of these with my order, as one would expect. Where were fortune cookies invented, Hearn?
Yeah, so obviously you would think China.
Mm-hmm.
Comes to Chinese food.
And you would know, as a man who was once held hostage in a Chinese cookie factory, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Where was
say,
that factory?
Huh?
Where was that factory, huh? That's the answer we're looking for.
It's in somewhere in America.
You think America is where it was invented?
Is that good enough, or do you want? If I'm saying a place, do you want
I will take that as an answer.
Washington?
I should have been more specific, but it kind of broke the mold to say I need a specific state for this one because you would think China, obviously, right? If you didn't know any better and you weren't already playing this game. Fortune cookies were invented in San Francisco, buddy. California. They are a product of California. They are not Chinese. They have no ties to. I think they might be based off of something ceremonial in Chinese culture. They're certainly not something frequently consumed or handed out with meals or anything like that.
Very weird, but that makes sense.
This next one is one of my favorites. It's one of the things that I frequently think about when I hear this, or I hear the brand name and I'm like, okay, whatever. So I guess I am sort of spoiling for you that it's not where you would think. Buddy, where was Texas Pete invented? And we are looking for a state.
I'm assuming not Texas.
It was not invented in Texas, buddy.
Texas Pete, we're going to go New Mexico.
Great guess, not a bad guess at all, actually, but it's not the answer we were looking for. Texas Pete was invented in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I almost said Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Oh,
Texas Pete in North Carolina.
I figured it would be somewhere New Mexico, Arizona, Louisiana, somewhere southern
Right, because
Oklahoma.
Louisiana has the two hot sauces. They have Louisiana and then Louisiana Crystal. No, North Carolina. Why do they call it Texas Pete? I don't even know why. I'm sure I could have figured that out.
Don't even get me started.
What?
The Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City in Missouri. So stupid. I don't care.
I did not know that Kansas City was in Missouri until I was in my junior year of high school.
No,
I assume Kansas. It's Kansas City. It's in Kansas.
Right. It's so. I think it's on the border, right?
It's close.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. There's a city in Texas that borders Arkansas. Arkansas, you like that?
Arkansas, yeah. Arkansas.
Why is this Kansas? But this is not Arkansas. And it's called Texarkana. It's
okay, yeah. I did not know that's what I was named after them.
Why don't more things do that? I think it's so cool to blend the name of the states that you're sharing your border with. That's cool. And obviously, I'm sure there are more in the entire country that do that.
So you wonder why it wasn't Kansas City?
I just don't get why. I hate that.
It's kind of weird that it's Kansas City. It is kind of weird.
Kentucky City in West Virginia. It's so stupid.
There are some weird things like I was in Chicago last week and there's Michigan Avenue. I'm like, we're not in Michigan. And then in Chicago, you can get to Lake Michigan. Stuff like that's kind of weird too, I would say. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things named after Michigan or Michigan avenues and stuff like that. And a lot of it's not in Michigan. It's kind of funny to me. So
it's weird. It's stupid. Anyway,
are you ready for our next item?
Bring it. It's only getting tougher.
Where was, I think, the most popular food in America, if I'm not mistaken, pizza invented?
Oh,
what'd you say?
I said French fries. But before you said yeah.
I should have asked about French fries. Why didn't I think about French fries?
Hey, pizza was made up in the Bronx in Brooklyn.
You think so?
Apparently that's where all the best pizza in the world is.
I was just in New York. Pizza is amazing. New York pizza is amazing. I had it 3 times while I was in New York. The only time I've ever been. It was amazing. So.
Where?
Where? What'd you say?
Where?
Where? This one place was called literally Pizza John's. I had it twice. And then there was this one place that was selling it by the slice, and I stopped and got it there.
Okay. I meant where, as in, where did pizza come from?
Oh, God. I was talking about, I had it in New York. Yeah, it's good. And you were like,
because if it's not up in the Bronx, I don't want it. That's garbage.
You're killing me with this. That's a good voice. This one was just to mess with you. It was invented in Naples, Italy. It's a totally... Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to say that some of these things, some of the stereotypical answers you would think are true.
And Areola, Italy.
Because I said Naples. It sounds like Naples. I was like, why the frick did he just say areola on our podcast?
The password.
Do I have to mark this as explicit this week when we're posting it?
Nipple.
I don't even know what you just said. I guess I'll get to figure out when I go back and listen to it.
Yes, sir. Another one for you.
Well,
what if I resaid the password is?
No, it's not coming through. Your voice chat is thinking that's just noises, so it's not. I don't know. The audience knows what you said, but I don't. So
they know the password.
Oh, the password.
The password is.
Okay.
That's what I said. Do you now get what I'm saying? Do you know?
I don't.
Well,
one of these days. Back to our game of where things were invented. Before we get even further off the rails, where was the croissant invented?
Croissant.
Croissant. That was really good. That was a good Carl voice.
Croissant. Shoot. I don't think this is another trick.
Okay.
Because a lot of people that think of croissants, they think of France, right? I'm just going to say somewhere in Italy. Somewhere in Italy.
Well, I actually think that it's mostly Italian, if I'm not mistaken. But France certainly has it with the bread, right?
Right.
French and
the baguettes.
Yes, that's very popular as well. So I would say Italy because it's more of a pastry. But France is also obviously a great guess. I would totally understand somebody thinking either Italy or France. Both.
But
they were invented in Austria.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that anyway.
Like, you would think, can you name another food that was invented in Austria? Can you name one? Exactly. So, like, why don't we know that croissants were invented there? Wouldn't that be their thing?
You would think,
right?
yeah.
This is our thing. We invented this. This is our thing.
A lot of people
I have no
like
idea.
croissants. And for good reason. Croissants are good.
They're pretty good.
Go to Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen. Get those big buttery croissants.
I think I've only ever had the same thing from there every time I've been. It's a buffalo chicken wrap. Yeah, but I've not been in a long time.
Same.
Yeah, and I probably won't be back. I'm
We
good.
will not be back.
It always takes like an hour to get your food. It takes
It
so
does,
long.
yeah. But the scenery is beautiful.
The scenery. Ooh, the mood lighting and Cheddar's.
The big old fish tank.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Maybe I'm just...
The Cheddar's in Beckley had a huge fish tank in it.
Was it as soon as you walk in?
No, you couldn't see it from the... Maybe if you were like at the actual hostess stand waiting to be seated, you could probably look to your left and see it. But yeah, it took up like a whole wall.
I don't even think I know. Yeah, there you go. Well, the next item on our list, coincidentally, is where was Cheddar's? No, I'm just kidding. Swedish meatballs. Where were they
Hey, I
invented?
cooked the meatball. Hey!
That's not a Swedish accent. These are Swedish meatballs.
I cooked the meatball.
That's not a Swedish accent. Where were they invented? Swedish meatballs.
The Swedish meatballs, if they weren't invented in Sweden, this is stupid.
They were not.
They were invented in Denmark.
Dude, like, for a reason, like, for some reason, I was like, he's going to guess this right. He's going to pull this out of his hind end and guess this right.
Is it Denmark?
You didn't. It's not Denmark. It's Turkey. Yeah.
What does that? What's the point of telling me? Hey, for some reason, I thought you were gonna pull this out your butt. You didn't.
You
You disappoint me.
thought I'd let you know I had faith in you, and you let me down.
You failed me yet
So you need to fear me. Because I'm coming. You need to fear me. You need to fear me. I don't know why at this point, but you do. Because you let me down. I had faith in you. That's why. That's why I'm coming for you. I had faith in you that you were going to pull it out of your butt, and you let me down, Hearn.
You did. It was just so random. I knew you were gonna pull this out. You didn't though.
I didn't say that. For like a brief moment, I was like, oh my God, he's going to say this, isn't he? He's going to say this.
I honestly didn't even hear you. What you said was Denmark.
Turkey.
I said it was Denmark. What was it? Turkey.
Yeah, I would
Next.
never guess that. Again, why aren't they Turkish meatballs? I wonder where Turkish Delight was invented.
Hey, I cooked the meatball here.
While we're at it, where was Turkish Delight invented?
Find it.
Constantinople.
Can't go back to Constantinople. What the Constantinople?
Where is modern day Constantinople? Istanbul,
New York,
Turkey.
isn't it?
Okay, Turkish Delight was
wait,
invented in modern day Turkey. There you go.
Whatever.
That's why it's not on the game. But I do have one more item for you real quick, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
Let's see if I can get a single one correct.
Yeah, you have not had... you said fortune cookies
I said America. Yeah.
But
Anyway,
I
I was
couldn't tell
gonna
you
say
to look
San Francisco.
name for a state there, right? Otherwise,
Yeah,
I would have
no
given
way.
it away. But where was one of the most popular Chinese dishes in America invented? Orange chicken.
Orange chicken is good.
I had it for dinner tonight, too.
Is it in America?
We are looking for a state.
Okay, we're looking for a state.
1 out of 50.
Orange chicken. Dun 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 dun. The Who Wants to Be a Millionaire tense music in the background.
Orange chicken?
I feel like
Panda
it's
Express?
so
It was invented by
Yeah.
Panda Express, I'll tell you that much.
like I almost want to say California again.
Not a bad guess, because I think that might be where Panda Express was founded. But it's not California. It's random, honestly. It's one of the more random states I would have thought
What
of.
coast? If it's coastal,
West Coast.
West Coast. That ain't Washington.
I kind of tricked you by saying West Coast because I couldn't tell you where it was. It's Hawaii. Hawaii, dude, is where orange chicken was invented.
That's coastal, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's coastal. It's all coast. Oops, all coast.
Oops.
But, yeah, orange chicken, one of
Okay,
America's
that's
favorite
really
Chinese
weird.
foods, was invented in Hawaii.
Hawaii?
It's not Chinese.
Wow.
So it is
Okay.
an Americanized version of Chinese type chicken, right? It's not meant to be like
Okay.
a total imposter. But
Right.
yeah, it
Imposter.
itself is not in
Among Us.
Oh, the Skyrim
Among
thing?
Us.
The Skyrim thing. God, how many more? Let's play how many times can we confuse our viewers tonight with references they're not going to understand.
Dude, what's the word? There's a word for that. I don't know if it's like, I'm not gonna box
Denmark.
myself as like ADHD or whatever, but like, if you
Tourette's?
say something, maybe it's Tourette's. If you
Where
say
you just
something, I
like,
promise I
you
know
have
a quote
a
for it.
response like, "Duh," or you just kind of say it.
Yeah. Among Us.
While you're at it, if you've not listened to it and you're at home, Google a man with Tourette's reading Three Blind Mice. It is one of my favorite videos of all time. I'm not
I'll have to look
exaggerating.
that
He
up.
did it before you get mad at me for sending you to this video where you will inevitably laugh. The person did it to raise awareness for Tourette's. So, there you go.
I feel like that's one of those things. People could just lie and say they have Tourette's and just be an absolute D-bag to everybody. Yeah. Like, unfortunately, people out there are doing that. They
It's
are.
very possible. In 2023, I would not doubt that there is someone in this country, somewhere, pretending that they have Tourette's. Somewhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely, there is.
But
Just they could say random stuff. I mean, freaking South Park did it. You know what happened. South Park did it.
I don't think. Was it Tourette's that they faked?
I think it was.
I
Eric
wouldn't know.
Cartman
Of
acted
course
like
it was
he.
Cartman. Of course it was.
Yeah, of course.
I
Yeah, he
actually
would just
freaking think Cartman is hilarious. So.
randomly curse. Dude, for some reason, when I do a Cartman, my wife like loves it.
It's
Like,
spot
she
on.
thinks
You
it's
did
funny.
it on a call with me one time. So if you have a
Okay.
PG, non-misogynistic, non-racist, non-homophobic quote
Nope.
that you could say from Cartman, right?
It's out.
You're like, do you want me to quote Cartman or not? I'm like,
The one I use all the time is from specifically the quick bit where Kyle is selecting people to go to his birthday at Casa Bonita, and he doesn't take Cartman.
okay.
And he says, "Well, F you, Kyle. I hope you die. I hope you effing die." And I use that all the time. Like, anytime my wife does something that disappoints me, I hope you die.
It's just so funny. Like, and
That-
it's so dated at this point too. Even though, like, do they still make new episodes like every week?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they're in the
And
middle
they have
of a
like
new
the
season
shortest
right now.
turnaround of any major produced television show because they want all of their jokes and stuff to be as recent as possible.
Right.
The one about the
That-
Washington Redskins was pretty funny. I will say that if you recall that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was great.
That was pretty good.
Cartman also singing "In the Ghetto," in the ghetto,
Yeah.
and his mama cried. Cause it's one thing she don't need. It's not a little hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto. In the ghetto.
that was a good trend on TikTok, right?
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, man. So
Anyway,
back on the rails. More talking from me. I apologize, sir. And this is your podcast too, I promise.
that's okay. Pal.
But I do happen to have the hot take of the week this week. Last week it was your turn. Next week it'll be your turn since we do switch it back and forth. But
Thank you.
now's the part of the show where I thank you. I made coffee.
Oh, thanks, Mama. Perfect.
This is the part of the show where I get the floor to myself for up to a minute to deliver a take that I deem to be somewhat hot. Again, I feel like this one's kind of random. I feel like the hotness, the spiciness, the heat of this take is related to, like, why are you so pressed about this? Because I am pressed about it. I feel very passionately about this.
That's my opinion.
The cat. I don't know if this is going to be a full minute or not. It's not one that I think you'll necessarily disagree with. Maybe you will.
Okay.
You might not have an opinion on this at all. So
right.
hopefully we can get a little discussion going by this. Be even better if you had your own example of something like this that you could throw at me, but no pressure at all. Hearn, are you ready for me?
I'm ready, pal. Take it.
Well, I'll actually ask for your input here in a second, if you don't mind, unless you're busy. Because I have a list of things real quick that I want you to tell me what they all have in common. Are you ready?
Ooh, we're playing the categories.
Sort
of the New York
Five
Times.
things. Toys R Us, Champion, brand, Neopets, Polaroid, and Fila, Fila. What do all five of those brands/companies have in common?
Look at Gaga. She's the creative director for Polaroid. I like some of the Gaga songs. What the does she know about cameras?
Oh yeah, I forgot about
See, like I said 2 minutes ago, that's my brain, dude. You said Polaroid. I was like that Kanye quote about Lady Gaga. I don't know.
if you've never heard that quote too, it's another one where our viewers can be like, "What the frick is he talking about?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
But do you have an answer?
No. Stuff that went out of business.
Very close to what the thing they have in common is. Toys R Us, Champion, Neopets, Polaroid,
Bankrupt.
Fila have all made a totally unnecessary comeback within the last decade from obscurity. Toys R Us, of course, which I loved Toys R Us as a kid. But then I turned about 16, had my own money, and realized, my God, they charge more for everything here. When I could go across the street to Walmart, Target, Best Buy, anywhere, and get the same thing for less. Of course, no longer exists in the United States. It does exist in Canada, and they're sort of bringing some back next year. Whatever. They've made a comeback, right? Right now, they're in Macy's. Whatever. Champion, when I was growing up, sold their clothes in Walmart, if you remember.
Yeah.
I did a lot of my clothes shopping in Walmart. I did not buy the Champion stuff. It was just never one of my brands that I liked. It wasn't for me. They yanked their clothes from Walmart. They shoved them in all the skater stores, and all of a sudden, it is the hot freaking ticket brand. Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong?
No.
It was
Not yet.
everywhere for like a long time. And I was like, that used to be $3 at Walmart like 2 years ago. What are we doing here, guys? $60 for a hoodie. You guys almost went out of business. What are we doing here? Don't know how they convinced people that they're like a cool brand. I don't hate Champion. I think I have some Champion things just because I like the specific thing, right?
Right.
Like they have some like Marshall and Michigan stuff that I have. Neopets, fun for a time, but who's asking for that to come back? Polaroid, we do not need disposable cameras, and the niche quirky girl disposable cameras I think are stupid. That's why I think their comeback is stupid. Fila, I just don't think brings anything unique to the clothing or shoe game. All five of those have made, in my opinion, totally unnecessary comebacks. The hot take of the week is that if we're bringing back stuff that we all have nostalgia for, why hasn't Starter made a full-blown comeback yet? They have one of the most unique brands with timeless looks, mostly related to sports culture, which, you know, my thing. Why haven't they made a comeback yet? Why? They took the same path as Champion. They were huge. They were a big store brand, name brand, whatever. And then all of a sudden, when I was growing up, they were selling Starter stuff at Walmart. And I would hear and see the old NFL clips. I'd hear like, oh, everybody had Starter jackets. I'd hear from Ice Cube that people were getting robbed of their Los Angeles Raiders Starter jackets right off their backs because of how popular and in demand they were. Then they went to Walmart, did the whole Walmart treatment, making terrible clothes in the pre-Obama era. But now they exist still. Why aren't they popular again? Champion? Name one unique thing Champion does. Name one unique thing Fila does.
Yeah, I feel like it is very. I don't know if like selective is the right word.
It's very selective.
I don't know. It's very weird how certain things, certain brands, have made. Yeah, that's a great.
I'm still jarred by the Champion comeback. I have no hate for it, but and they're clearly here to stay. They're not going anywhere. They're like around. They're one of the more popular clothing brands in the United States.
I do think, fortunately, because I like it. I'm a retro. I like a lot of retro stuff. So like I like that. Like right now, like record players are like cool.
I got a record player.
Again.
Yeah. I don't think that's pointless.
Right.
I don't know. Well, the bottom line for me with this is you can't look at me and blame me for Starter not making a comeback because I currently have, I think 7 Starter jackets in my closet right now.
Okay.
That's a big thing I'm big on my teams and stuff like that. I love them. I think they're fun. I think they go with everything around wintertime. I wear their regular button-up jackets as a winter jacket. They're so warm. They're like the warmest jacket you could imagine. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if it's a marketing thing. I don't know what it is. But they need to make a comeback, dude. Starter needs to make a comeback. I promise you. You cannot tell me there's places for Champion and Fila to make a comeback. Which Fila's not like huge, but I mean, I still see people wearing new Fila stuff. Way more often than I see new Starter stuff at all.
Right.
Which is very rare. So you can't tell me that Champion and Fila have something they're providing Whereas Starter, who popularized a couple different genres of clothing with the satin button-up jackets, and then they have the windbreaker pullovers with the quarter zip. Mm-hmm. Very unique items. You can't tell me there's no place for those still, right? You can't.
Agreed.
You can't.
Agreed. I'd like to see it. Let's single-handedly change it. Let's bring back Starter.
You know I'm doing my part, pal.
Apparently,
just take my word for it on that.
I got you. All right.
But that's the hot take of the week. Bring back Starter. Stop bringing back dumb brands.
I like it. I'm here for it.
So, but with that being said, I figure I've talked enough, at least for right now. How do you feel about leading us into our main hoe subject today?
Our main hoe.
The side hose. Back to my main hoe.
Get out. Our main hoe subject. We are doing a little dipping into our Christmas themes. And 'tis the season. Merry coffee.
Merry coffee.
How early is too early? We're going to go through some Christmas.
Probably about 4 a.m.
Probably about, yeah. We're going to go through some Christmas festivities, things to do with Christmas. How early is too early? Starting off, buddy. One that me and you, I know, agree on. How early is too early to be putting up Christmas decor?
I'm going to keep it real with you, Chief. If I go to your house on Christmas Day and there's Christmas decor up, it's too early, bro. That's too early. I mean, December 26th through New Year's Day is probably the most appropriate time to have a Christmas tree up, for sure.
And now,
I just like messing with people.
And
I just
now,
like being an idiot. Sometimes being an idiot's fun.
With the real take, we discussed it on the pod. I'm pretty sure. But
we literally discussed it on the pod last week. I think we both were like, "Yeah, our Christmas stuff is up right now. Mine is up. Yours is up." I mean, to not be a little hypocrite about it and be like to name a date that is earlier than when I do it. If it's up before Halloween, that is a little early. And I did see people with it up before Halloween in my neighborhood.
I guess
I'm like, that's a little much, and I love it. So
yeah,
that's probably too early for me.
I agree, and I would admit, I mean, we do November 1st. If you say that's too early, fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure growing up it was like after Thanksgiving sometimes before we put up Christmas stuff.
Mine was like second week of December. My dad's birthdays is second week of December, and like there would be times where like we didn't have Christmas decorations up then. We would do it around then.
One of my favorite running jokes, my brother does it every single year. It's like December 26th, and he'll say something like, "Man, put that tree up early, ain't you?" Like talk about for the next Christmas or whatever.
I was going to say, I love where this is going already because your brother's hilarious. Yeah. So I would imagine this is going to be fun.
Every year, like, a little early for Christmas decorations, isn't it? Like, it's so stupid. So, yeah. Because I think, like, we easily have our Christmas decor up. I don't know if through New Year's is the right word. Probably.
I was going to say, how late is too late? And I'll talk more about how early is too early in a sec for that. But how late is too late for you?
You can run into January for sure, I think. Don't go...
I think at least New Year's.
Yes. Yeah, don't go to... January 15th and your Christmas stuff is still up, probably ought to start getting that down.
I agree with that. I think, like, the New Year's Day, you've got important college bowl games happening every year. So you can turn those on while you put the decorations down and stuff and make it a little easier on you.
Sure.
So kind of multitask, get them down. And because I feel like most people take New Year's off. Most people get at least the first off. A lot of people take the second off. Mm-hmm. If you're going back to work post Christmas, in most cases, like I think I'm quite literally scheduled for the 26th this year.
Goodness.
I don't have that whole time off. Or the 27th, depending on the first Monday after Christmas, whatever it is, I'm scheduled.
Okay.
Because I have a job that requires me to do stuff with year-end.
If you're not scheduled till the first Monday after Christmas, then you have that whole week off. I think. Is it Christmas on a Monday this year?
Christmas is on a Monday. I'm scheduled on the 26th. Is what I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
So
you said the Monday.
I'm scheduled on the day after.
You said the Monday after Christmas. I was like, buddy, you got a whole week off. But
okay. All I'm saying is, in my case, this isn't true because I was about to say if you're going back to work after Christmas and your tree is still up, that's bad. But okay, if you're going back to 26th, a lot of people take the week of Christmas through New Year's. Off. If you have all that time off, it's January 3rd or 4th, and then you're coming back to work and your stuff is still up, that's probably a little too late, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But the Christmas decor is what sparked this entire conversation. Mm-hmm. Most of America would look at us and say, God, that is too early. Some of our listeners might see your hat and say, why on earth Is it not even cold outside yet because we're destroying the planet? And you have Christmas stuff up. What are we doing?
'Tis the season. Merry coffee.
Merry coffee. Still don't know what the saying for this year is, by the way. I've not been in person to get anything since then. Just done. My wife's brought it home to me a couple times, like, 'cause she passes it on her way home a lot of the times, and then yeah. So I don't know what their saying is this year, but I will get back to you with it whenever I know what it is.
Please do.
Can't live up to the goat of Merry Coffee.
Merry coffee.
But I don't know. I just don't understand why. Like, one of our next subjects here is how early is too early for Black Friday deals.
Yes.
Black Friday is in November, right?
Yeah. For now.
For now, with the way it's headed, you know, it might be Halloween out. But to me, you're doing your Christmas shopping in November. A lot of people do. That's when the bulk of it is done.
Right.
So your decorations at least need to be up in November in that case. Or like can at least be up in November reasonably. If you're shopping for Christmas, Christmas is on your mind, Christmas is the thing happening. Decorations make sense then.
Right.
So at least sometime in the month of November is perfectly acceptable to me. If you're waiting until I'll just tell you now. My kids will grow up knowing Thanksgiving with Christmas decorations all around.
Yep.
They just will.
Absolutely.
It's just the way it is. So
that's the way
it's just pre-Christmas.
the news goes.
Yep.
So
I would love to hear counter arguments to it. That's what I was gonna say. You can keep going with what you were gonna say.
No, I agree. I like to hear counter arguments. Black Friday deals. I honestly kind of enjoyed. There was a stretch, like mostly in high school, I'd say, where like because back then most of the deals were still actually Black Friday, still 4 a.m. Black Friday. By far.
I
honestly kind of liked going out at 4 a.m. and
I love it.
Not necessarily.
It's one of my favorite days of the whole year. Of the whole year.
Yeah, like not necessarily. I wasn't one of those people like trampling people to get to the TV on sale, or whatever. Just going out and seeing what's out there. It was like to experience it or whatever. Even though honestly, looking back, like obviously it's mostly terrible. You go to Kohl's and you wait in line for 3 hours. It sucks.
It is the only thing that gets me out of bed early ever.
Yeah.
I'm never getting out of bed before 6 a.m. on my own will, excitedly, ever.
Excitedly.
Other than Black Friday.
So why do you personally say you will excitedly? Because I like the people watch just to experience it.
I have a consumer problem. I love spending money as someone who is firmly in the middle class. So I love it.
I guess so.
And so like, what better day to spend money than Black Friday when you can get stuff for other people and then stuff for yourself as well? You know what I mean? Like, I promise you there is something you want that is on sale on Black Friday. There's something, like, I've been telling Kat since June. G Fuel buy one, get one. On Black Friday, they release new flavors. You know I'm all about it. Why are you making that face, bro?
Dude, just the amount
is it not hashtag should be could be for you too?
No,
hashtag
I've never had
be,
it.
Could be.
I don't
what?
/ can't eat energy drinks. So
you can't?
I got heart problems. So I can't have energy drinks. That's what I was told.
Could you have non-caffeinated ones? Because they have hydration versions as well.
Don't know.
Oh, look at me. Look at me, G Fuel. Look at me right here. See what I'm doing right here, bro?
The pinnacle.
Nah, I'm just messing around, bro.
Yeah, it's just funny that it's like so not
6
a
weeks in
sponsor,
a row,
but you've given them like free clout.
Hashtag should be could be.
Yeah.
They bring out flavors. My literal favorite flavor comes out on Black Friday every year.
There you go.
So like it's not available year round. This year I literally been telling my wife since June I will be buying 6 tubs of it.
Sure.
6. So
the
price of 3 because it's buy one get one.
One of my favorite Black Friday memories, because like I said, I like people watching. Just go out in public and sit down and watch people. It's funny.
Yeah, for sure.
Do the little like where you narrate them from a distance. Like, oh, I gotta go get the. Like, it's funny. It's fun to do.
Never done that, but that sounds fun.
My uncle is freaking hilarious. He honestly reminds me so much of Joe from Practical Jokers. It's not even funny. He is
That's great.
Joe.
That sounds awesome.
In Crossroads Mall in our hometown, you remember they had like those
Where
things.
you go.
Obviously, these were probably everywhere. It was like tons of like little gumball machines on like a little like shelf like sitting in the middle of the mall. Those
as
move.
a little kid, those are my favorites.
Those are on wheels. And my uncle figured that out, and he was wearing a hat that was like probably 2 feet.
Unlock it?
I don't know. It was probably supposed to be locked, but it wasn't.
Uh-huh.
He's wearing a hat that was a literal Christmas tree, like 2 feet tall, like sticking straight up off his head, look like an elf or whatever.
Okay.
And he's just pushing that thing down the mall, like through crowds of people. Gumball, sir, gumball, ma'am, gumball, like just like literally rolling
on Black Friday.
Yeah, in the middle of Black Friday.
It's the most crowded it is all year.
Gumball, sir, and like nobody took him up on it. Like he was like a roaming gumball salesman, and it was just so stupid. And like that was well before Impractical Jokers was a thing. Was that memory? So it's just like
that's awesome.
I just think it's funny. I like people watching. I like just sitting in public and watching people, whatever.
I just love the deals, dude. Like I remember, I was a big pro wrestling fan growing up. I still consider myself a fan, even though I don't currently watch any at all. Hot Topic sells wrestling t-shirts. They were normally $25 a piece. On Black Friday, they were $10.
Hot Topic. Hot Topic, the intro to Spencer's.
I've never been inside of Spencer's, ever. I still go to Hot Topic all the time.
Oh, child.
I guess my friends weren't too negatively influential on me, huh?
Don't go to the back half of Spencer's. Front half you can go in.
I've been hearing that since like 5th grade.
Front half, they got
Still
lava lamps and cool PG-13 gag gifts. Yeah.
I mean, walking by it, I see like t-shirts and backpacks. I'm like, oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And you get back there
like,
and
I've never been in.
Yeah.
Never been in because I know. I just know better. I've never been in.
Yeah. Lot of funny gag
Mom,
gifts.
Dad, hope you're proud.
There you go. Be proud of this, man.
But that being said, to get back to the main subject here, it is currently, as we're recording this, November 8th. Mm-hmm. The go live date for this episode is November 13th. Mm-hmm. Both of those dates are too early for Black Friday deals, in my opinion, for multiple reasons. To me, Walmart is doing this thing now where, like, we're recording this, their first Black Friday wave has already happened.
So,
by the time you're hearing this, their second Black Friday wave is about to happen already. Why?
It's not Black Friday.
Why? Do you know how easy it is to have that one day where like, okay, this is the one day where everything I need is going to be available. Everything's going to be ready. If I miss anything, next Monday, everything's going to be online on Cyber Monday. Mm-hmm. So, like, in my opinion, doing it in waves like this, especially with the big ticket items, I've never gone after a big ticket item on Black Friday. I've never gone after a TV, a game console, anything on Black Friday.
Right.
So I'm kind of a fake Black Friday guy. Like, I like going for the little stuff.
It could be a phony. A big, fat phony.
I don't know what you're referencing. You just keep doing this.
Sorry.
It is a tick. Bad. It's a tick.
I'm bad.
It's a tick for you.
I'm bad for it
Isn't
tonight.
It? No, it's not your bad at all. It's great. I love it. I think it gives us some flavor.
Yeah, okay. That's Family Guy. It could be a phony.
But not to sound like a Black Friday phony.
A big,
but
fat
I never
phony.
got to the big ticket items. But you can't help yourself. Look at you. Every Wednesday right now, I believe, they're doing big ticket Black Friday items alongside some of the little stuff.
That's so stupid.
And I promise you, by doing them in weekly staggered releases, the bots online are eating them up.
Of course.
They're not going in the hands of real people at all. You know, I say, what's releasing them all at the same time on one day going to help? Well, if nothing else, I promise you all of those deals used to always be in stores, if nothing else. So, like, you're not going in and buying 100 TVs on sale from Walmart in store on Black Friday.
Not a bot ain't.
It's a lot easier when they're doing it weekly, Wednesday, 9 a.m., whatever they're doing, as compared to showing up, dealing with the crowd, dealing with the one per customer thing. Mm-hmm. You're screwing other people by doing this, in my opinion.
I don't like scalpers.
So I'm not a fan. It's too early. What?
I don't like scalpers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's room to a certain degree for scalping.
If it benefits me, then I like
flipping. It's okay.
It's when other people do it.
Not at all. Not at all what I'm saying.
When
to a degree, scalping is okay if it's done in moderation, if it's just minor flipping. I bought one for me, one to flip. It helps me get my money back on it, whatever. I have no problem with that at all.
Fine.
People that buy 20, 30, 40, all of everything, that pisses me off. So
that lady that was going to buy like all the iPhones, remember that? She thought she could buy she was like at the front of the line. It was like years ago. She thought she was towards the front of the line, and she thought she was going to go in and buy all the iPhones and then flip them.
I used to go collect. I don't think you can see any on my setup. The Funko Pop's down there. There's one down there. It's Doctor Strange. I used to collect those hardcore. If one was coming out that had a Chase variant, yeah, that's Doctor Strange. There you go. That's the way to do it.
Beat by
if one was coming out that had a Chase variant and was a store exclusive, everybody knew the date, whatever, you'd line up, and you didn't know how many chases they had. The chases were different, right? And, like, they would know how many they had, and they come out and be like, all right, we got 4. And be like, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's who gets them. That's it. But there were some places that would do it, and like it'd be a free for all, first person, no limit, whatever. They'd get 20 chases. First person would come in and literally buy every single one of them. Why are you allowing that, people? That's besides the point of what we're talking about here, but that's ridiculous. So,
yeah, Doctor Strange getting beaten by a 17-year-old using geometry. He's something like that.
Oh, Peter?
No matter. Yeah. So stupid,
I like
dude.
Spider-Man too. I have no problem with
Even the most modern Marvel movies has those lines that are just so.
People still got tricked,
stupid.
right?
Fine, but what specifically makes it so stupid / cringy? The mirror dimension where I'm in control. 30 seconds later, he's trapped.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop.
Doctor Strange is one of the GOATs of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he does not get nearly the respect he deserves. So
There you go.
that's an argument for another day.
Speaking of big ticket items for Christmas,
bigger tickets than I'm buying right now.
I had to throw this in there. Christmas shopping. How early is too early to Christmas shopping? I don't know, because the fact is, like, especially if you have a big family, you got a lot of people to think of. Maybe that's a big thing y'all do. Y'all do a bunch of gifts, whatever. Do your thing, but buy Christmas gifts in June. There's definitely like that every year. There's a note in my phone where throughout the year I'm like, oh, that'd be a good Christmas gift for this person, and I make a note of it, and then come Christmas time, I reference that note.
That's good, because buying it in June is too early to set up.
Right, unless in February you think like, oh, like Chaperian may like this blankety blank for Christmas this year, and then like in June for Prime Day it's on sale. I'm like, okay,
That's
I can get it.
a little different. I just never bought Christmas gifts that early or anything like that.
Specifically though, the stupid commercials of like where they walk outside and there's a VW bug. There's a Lexus like.
You went to Toyotathon for me?
Oh my gosh! And none of them are any car that costs less than like $60,000.
Oh, it's insane.
There is no like Ford. There's no Ford Escape on these commercials.
You got me a $1,500 a month liability?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have.
SNL recently did a skit.
Or you paid it in full, which is so unrealistic.
We talked about SNL being unfunny. Still fully agree. I did see a bit.
Yeah, I saw a video today that I wanted to send you, and might still if I find
Was it the one with?
Not funny.
Was it this bit talking? Okay, never mind. This bit was kind of funny. They did a bit recently
I don't know this
talking
bit.
about like I think one more gift's outside, and they walk outside and the husband bought his wife a Lexus, and she's like, "You bought a car without consulting me?" Like it's how it should be. It's so stupid, dude. It's
You bought a new luxury, fully equipped car without telling me?
I promise you, if you have ever bought your spouse a brand new car for Christmas, no one likes you. No one. You are terrible.
Your marriage is in shambles, or you have more money than one person should have.
Both. Probably both. Yeah, I don't need to
Probably
buy.
both.
I don't need to buy my
Those tend to
wife
go
a
hand
new
in
car
hand.
for Christmas for her to love me. Yeah, that's your marriage is in shambles.
No. And if all your wife wants for Christmas is for you to surprise her with husbands too. The only time I ever know of somebody getting a new car for Christmas was a teacher I had. Where like we came back from school and he was like, "What'd y'all get for Christmas?"
Don't tell me a
We're like,
teacher was
whatever.
bragging.
And then
to
he was
kids
like,
about a car
and he was
he
like,
got.
"Yeah, well," he's like, "My gift's sitting out in the parking lot."
See,
said,
I promise you, stop there. That's all I need to know. This man's a loser. He's a loser.
Yeah. He was an old man. He was an older man. It was not a teacher you knew. It was in my elementary school. So
He's telling
remember
elementary
that,
school kids that he got a new car. How? Oh my god!
it was a new truck. Yeah.
Oh.
So mine's out in the parking lot.
What a loser. He's a loser.
He had some funny stories too.
Honestly, same thing for me. Jewelry.
Well, how early is too early for Christmas shopping? To get back on subject,
I honestly, I'm not gonna peg it because
you don't think it's ever too early.
I think if you found a good deal and you know somebody would like something, go ahead and snatch it up.
Here's my thing. Here's where I stand on this. I've thought of this. Okay, well before we had this on our radar. Mm-hmm. Don't laugh at me. This is half my show. You're not laughing at me.
Darn
Herman.
it! It's my podcast. I
Dang
can say
it.
whatever I want.
It's my podcast. Dang it. I've thought of this before, and here's how I feel. I only get Christmas gifts for people I like, aka family and friends, right?
Right.
If I see something in March, wow, they would really like this, and I can afford to get it for them. Because if you're buying it in March to give it to them for Christmas, you can afford it in March, okay? Agree or disagree?
Sure.
Buy it and give it to them then, because gift giving should not be strictly stuck around the times of birthdays and Christmas. And for me, really, it's really just like Christmas. I don't really do a whole lot for birthdays or anything like that either. But I'm also not buying stuff in March and saying, let's hold on to this till December. So I think if you see something in March, you're like, they would love this. Oh, and it's a good price. I should just get it now. Okay, then give it to them the next time you see them.
That's a fair point.
Hey, I got you this thing. That almost means more than a
Right.
Christmas gift, because in 2023 in particular, I think there's this aura of like feeling obligated to get Christmas gifts. I think you can all agree to that. Imagine not getting your parents, siblings, significant other a Christmas gift. You're going to be like, what the heck? Like, wow, okay. You know what I mean? Whereas you're certainly not obligated to get them something for the Ides of March, right? So
What a random pull. That was good.
Anytime I mention literally any reference right now, it's. But when you make the most random freaking quote that no one listening understands.
I literally just complimented you. I said nice
Phony.
pull. I said nice pull. I complimented
With what?
With Ides of March.
With the Ides of March?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that come
See?
through.
Yeah.
Well, it's my podcast. I can say whatever I want.
It's my podcast. I can say whatever I want. I don't set the speed limit. If you don't like it, go around me. If I'm already speeding,
Hooday, I'm out of here.
and you still have a problem with it, go around me. The return of Chaperian's.
It's been a
sticker.
while. It's been a while.
I wanted to bring that up before, so I'm glad I randomly remembered.
God. I just hope you know, because I know you. I know the kind of person you are. If you give me that bumper sticker, it's not going on my car.
Well,
I promise you.
It's still a funny gag.
Just telling you.
It's fun. It's a funny gag.
It is a great gag gift. I will find an appropriate place for it when you inevitably make sure that I have that.
It can go on your wall back there somewhere. Sure.
I can put it right there. Right there. Yeah. You can't see where I'm pointing right now? Yeah. You don't have a clue where I'm pointing. But, yeah.
Anyway, so Christmas shop, that's a great point. If you get something for somebody in March, maybe go ahead and give it to them. I like that.
Give it to him in March. Why not?
Cards for Christmas is stupid.
Cards for Christmas is stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to just go ahead and move on to our final point?
We can, yeah. It's really one more thing here. And I think decorations are the only thing that we're going to fight for and say, like, you know what? The earlier the better, within reason.
Yeah.
Everything else kind of has been happening at an appropriate time for the most part, I think.
Okay.
But the last thing we have is Christmas music. It's that time of the year where you will start to hear it on your regular, everyday radio stations as you make your morning commute. How early is too early to hear Christmas music in stores / on the radio? Heard. Do you have a date for me? Do you have a date?
Sincerely, for me, as long as it's after Halloween, I'm fine because my Christmas decoration's already up.
That kind of sets the tone, right?
Right. So I'm fine with it being Christmas music on November 1st, sincerely. I definitely would think anything before that is too soon. And again, I could definitely see people saying, like, Thanksgiving hasn't even come yet. Why are they playing Mariah Carey on the radio? Like, okay, if you want more time, then I'm not saying...
Yeah.
Yeah. You?
I'm going to say... If I'm listening... we are listening to Christmas music on our own accord right now in the car, I will say. Like, my wife usually handles... In the car.
But you are or are not?
We are.
Okay.
We are. Sorry. Okay. We are. My wife usually handles the aux. She'll ask for it sporadically throughout the year, to which 9 times out of 10 I'll say no. It's way too early for that. But if she's in like a bad mood or a sad mood, she's like, I would really love to hear Christmas music. I'm like, okay.
Sure.
That's fine. And I generally do think even during those times, it's still too early, but whatever. But to me, if I turn on the radio right now, I don't think I want to hear Christmas music because I'm turning on the radio with the expectation of... With certain expectations, I think.
Okay.
I'm listening to Christmas music on my own accord on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever. I don't think people are turning on the radio as often right now saying, I want to hear those sleigh bells jingle right now. You know what I mean? So there's that face again. You every time.
It's funny. I promise it's not like it.
It doesn't look like you're enjoying it or thinking that it's funny. You look like you're disappointed in it is what it looks like.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingle. Like, I think it's great. I think it was funny. I'm here for it. Like, when we're like, you're like it's good. Like,
you're like cringing almost from my perspective.
I promise I'm not
cringing.
No. You will know when it's a cringe. Maybe it's the same motion, maybe it's the same motion, but you won't.
It is.
Last week,
every week when I say "Hooday," I get the same motion as when I just said "Let's hear those sleigh bells jingle."
Okay, but I think you could tell last week whenever you mentioned because of course Starbucks has a Harry Potter themed drink. Like you're gonna that's like
well they don't. That was kind of the whole thing.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That
fans made one on their own accord.
That's cringe.
Cringe.
You saying I don't think everyone wants to hear the sleigh bells jingle. It's just funny. Yeah. Sorry. I'll try to react.
Black
better
Friday
for
deals
you.
before Thanksgiving. Cringe.
Yeah. Christmas music. I agree. Like, first off, I don't listen to the radio. I don't know. I think a lot of our generation, especially, doesn't really listen to the radio.
I'm listening to it right now because I have a free Sirius XM trial.
Okay.
So I like some of the stations.
So because of that, I'm not yet listening to Christmas music on my own. When we're putting up Christmas stuff, we'll play Christmas music. Obviously, if I'm in a store, I can't help it, and I'm fine with hearing it.
Are they playing it right now? Have you ran into it yet?
We went to Hobby Lobby, and of course, Hobby Lobby was.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know. I haven't been like a Walmart or a Target in the past week to tell you where they are or not. But
I did hear Walmart playing Flash Gordon by Queen randomly.
The main theme. Flash.
Yeah, the main theme. I thought this was. I was like, this is a random song to have on the radio.
Savior of the universe.
Bum 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 bum
Bum bum bum bum bum bum bum.
Yeah,
great.
I'll say this is random. Yeah, but
He saved with a mighty hand, every man, every woman, every child with a mighty flash.
It's a tick. You have to finish your quotes. It's definitely a freaking tick. There's something there. There's something there where you're I have to do this. It's like impulsive.
Yeah.
It's like SpongeBob and Patrick holding in, I'm a goofy goober. Yeah, and they're like,
yeah.
They're like literally like having a seizure.
Definitely is. I promise you, and over the years,
goofy, goober, yeah. That's you. Yeah.
I promise you.
That's you.
Slowly over the years, I've gotten less and less control over it, and I'm in my 20s. I'm in my 20s, and I'll be walking around Walmart out loud singing the song that I'm thinking of, or I talk to myself.
You sound like a psycho.
I 100% do.
You talk to yourself a lot in person?
Yeah. I will out loud okay, I've got this and this. Okay, I need to go over here. That's on this side. My thoughts are out loud a lot of times. I'm in my 20s and this is happening. Whenever I'm 60 years old, I'm in trouble, dude. I'm in trouble.
You're going to be that crazy grandpa who was just like, dude.
I love the videos where it's
he lost
it. This generation in the nursing homes and quoting random TikTok quotes. It's just the woman dressed all in helicopter.
Me 65 getting my third bowl of cream of wheat for the day. Helping me. I'm under the water. Please help me. It's just
I like how in your version we're old and we can't say the quote right. That made that really unique. Because I just would have still said hello, how are you? I'm under the water. I still would have said it that way.
Hello, how are you? I'm under the water. Please help me.
Sound like a Southern Baptist preacher. I'm under the water.
I don't know. This is only my third day out here. I can totally see that being one more thing. I think we're kind of wrapped up with the Christmas. How early is too early? Do you agree?
Right.
Most things earlier than what things have been for the past 25 years is too early.
Okay.
With the exception of decorations. Mm-hmm. Decorations, early November, great. But with that being said, to move on to something completely separate, how are we going to convey our generation's sense of humor onto our children? Because it's you will see TikToks, I will see TikToks, my wife will see TikToks, I'm sure your wife's in the same boat, where it's hilarious, and if you were told well, explain why that's funny.
I can't.
It's not possible. It's not possible. But I don't, and the reason I say that is because I can't explain why I think it's funny, and I don't think an average person would find some of these funny.
Right.
So
there will be times frequently in random people or whatever, I'll send them a TikTok that I think's funny, and the response is what did I just watch? That's the response I get so often. I'm I thought
you
it was
sent
funny.
me one this week. You texted it to me because I'm really bad about checking TikTok. I
yes,
don't get on there every day.
I have learned that
I don't get on every day.
I've learned that if I really want you to watch a TikTok, I need to just text it to you.
I don't get on there every day because I refuse to let it consume me. Like I know it has the power to do. It's not TikTok. It's me.
Okay.
It's not TikTok. It's me.
Thank you.
It will consume me if I let it. So I've not let it. But you sent me one that the thumbnail looked insane.
Thumbnail looked
I texted you what I thought it was. What?
Thumbnail was
Sus. Sus. I'll just put it out there because I don't even think, actually kind of telling on myself here. I watched one you sent earlier that day that you texted me. I don't think I watched that one actually.
It was like a food. It was a food TikTok.
You sent me a food one earlier too. So.
Oh no, you did because I said this is like average Italian dish, and that's what it was.
That was that though. It was that.
I think so.
When you sent it to me, the link had a little thumbnail.
I promise I'll put it in.
And I said, please tell me. Please tell me. I screenshotted it and sent it to you. I said, please tell me that it does not look like you just sent me a TikTok of male genitalia with syphilis, is what I said.
I promise.
And you're like, that does look disgusting. Because that's what it looked like. I looked at the thumbnail and I, like full SpongeBob, I was like, what the? You know that episode? Squidward's going, and the guy in the crowd goes, what the? He's so offended.
Is that the talent show? Is that one?
The talent show. Squidward's going,
oh, brother, this guy stinks.
This guy stinks. My favorite part is this is what I just said. What the? Like you just saw the most offensive thing known to mankind.
We watched
what the?
While we were on vacation, we watched like just random whatever was on TV at the time, and it was like SpongeBob. Classic SpongeBob, dude. I will crack up as a 27-year-old. It's hilarious.
Where we go on vacation, usually we don't necessarily have TV, because we have family that lives at the beach and they have a house that they're staying, but obviously they don't have cable because they don't live at that house. So I have old SpongeBob on DVD, and we'll bring it and watch it every year. We're always just like, dude, how do we not watch this all the time? It's
great.
It's untouchable.
It's great.
What the?
So that's how we'll pass our humor on is the stuff like, for me, it'll be Jim Carrey movies a whole lot. It'll be SpongeBob. It'll be... But
to me, so much of our generation's humor goes back to Vine.
Yeah.
Vine's dead, dude, and it's never coming back.
Or maybe it should, just like Fila.
Maybe it...
What a way to wrap it around.
It should, just like Starter should. How about that?
There you go. There you have it.
Because if you ask me, current TikTok humor is an extension of Vine humor.
Absolutely.
That's why we all find it funny. Mm-hmm. If you don't know anything about Vine humor, didn't see all the old memes, don't understand any of them, I don't think you're... Like our parents. Our parents aren't on the same sides of TikTok as we are.
Right.
We're just not.
Right.
So, yeah.
There you have it, pal.
Quite off the rails. Merry coffee. There you have it. But,
That's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta do.
I'd say it's a good way to wrap it up. Merry coffee.
Merry coffee. That's the sign language for Merry coffee.
Yeah.
Well, pal, where can they find us?
You can find us on Twitter at HeadacheSpod or on TikTok at Headaches and Hot Takes. But more importantly, we hope you like the podcast. If you made it this far in the episode, we thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. Tell a friend. Leave us a review on Spotify. And that's it for me. Do you? We were supposed to talk about something this week.
We were, but I think time got a little short on us. That's fine. We'll just push it. We'll push it to next week.
We can push it to next week.
Yeah,
we can push it to next
fine.
week.
Next week's slate's wide open, so yeah, we got it.
Remind everybody what we're going to talk about. Definitely, for sure, no cap.
no cap. Oh God. I feel like I say that every single time I just think about this.
You do every single time you go. Oh God!
It's just, dude. I'm not exaggerating when I say I can, like, with my eyes open, I can place myself in that stall. Oh Lord, the stall that I feel so sorry for whoever had to clean up that bathroom.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to hear the story. It kind of worked out that this is a running gag that you don't ever tell it because I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm good.
Funny. I think it's pretty good.
I'm sure. I'm sure next week I'm gonna really enjoy it when you tell it.
Right.
Next week.
That's not. I'm not being. I don't want you to think I'm being cocky. Like, it's a good story, bro. Because
Not at all.
I think it's funny, but like I said, I mean, my best friend Tred's just it seemed as if he was sincere. Said, tell that story for your best man speech. He wanted me to tell at his wedding, tell the story about me pooping myself. So I think it's a pretty good story.
I would say so.
Well, pal.
Yeah, next week, pal. Next week.
That's all we got, people.
Don't miss it. Headaches and hot takes. Next week, story of a lifetime. For sure. No cap.
Okay. Bussin'.
Definitely top 10.
Bussin' on God for real.
On God for real. That's it for me. We love you. Thank you. Who day, baby?
I knew it was coming. It hurts every week. I know it's coming and it hurts.
Why?
Peace, baby.
Who day?